y'all. Every fucking day my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child. But I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring 1 thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like, that's bogus as hell. Like, you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing 1 child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got 1 thing in there. I bet you he don't even... I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just 1 burger? 1 burger, 1 fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kids?
What about your other kids?
Okay, but them your kids' siblings though.
So what are you talking about?
Them my kids, them your kids' siblings though.
So what you?
So my other kids finna be left out.
You didn't feed them?
You know I don't give my food stamps to the 7.
Listen, it's not my problem.
Then if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
You had
them are his siblings though.
You had
He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings if they're not eating at McDonald's. No, why do I gotta put...
Bring him out to the car.
No. He's not finna eat that at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
Lisa, so you telling me that I gotta bring... So when I bring my son food, I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are their daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to mother. You had them other kids. They were your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring 1, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting 1 child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's?
So
you know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You expect me to take care of them? These ain't my kids.
Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids.
Why are you recording me?
Because I'm exposing you. Everybody think you such a motherfucking good daddy.
I'm a good daddy.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're full of shit in this bullshit. You only come here with 1 piece of food for 1 child.
The child that's mine, silly.
No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all then. He can't take that shit. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had 1 or 2, I could maybe. It's 3 extra kids. What the all I go to my account, spending money on all those kids. Them not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings though.
So that's what you gonna go with? That's the one you gonna
Those are your fucking kids' siblings.
They're my kids. So that means
yeah.
I take care of them.
So don't. No, I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring 1 something to eat.
I bring them food every other day. What do you mean?
Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other ones. You know I get my food stamps on the 11th.
For babies.
Okay, but I'm saying we share the same kid as well.
Absolutely. So if you want to, if you feel like a bill away about me, take him in the room and let him.
I'm not taking my kid in the room.
Down to the car. He ain't even got. He come right out to the car. He with me.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it here.
Bro,
Give it here.
Kids,
Give it here. He ain't eating this. You.
Why don't you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish as a... Like, you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. He not finna eat that. Dumb.
Take care of him anyway.
Dumb. He not finna do that. If you can't do it for all, don't do it for none of them. But I stupid. Thought I was finna take that today.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome everybody to my podcast. I am your gracious host, Jupiter 9, man. And we got to talk about this, man. Yo, first off, man, I just want to say about that whole situation with the mother and the father going at it on the internet. It's not cool. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop putting all our business out on Front Street like that, man. You know, we want to put everything out on Front Street just to try to make ourselves look good and, you know, try to embarrass people. You know what I'm saying? the guy in that video seemed like a very cool guy, man. He seemed like he was an all right guy, you know, and he's absolutely right what he said. He's not responsible for bringing food to those other kids if they're not his kids, you know. And the mother, you know, she went off and said that, you know, he should have brought food for all the kids. Now it depends on, you know, the person, you know. It depends on the person. Like me personally, I would have bought food for all the kids, man. I wouldn't want, you know, the other kids to see my son or daughter with McDonald's and them feeling some type of way, feeling envious, or, you know, them feeling left out, you know. Both sides are actually right, man. In all honesty, if you really look at it, both sides are actually right. She's right and he's right. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what type of person you're dealing with. Now, she said that, you know, you knew what type of person you were dealing with when you got with me. You know, that is true. He knew who he was dealing with when he got with her. But on the flip side, she knew what type of person she was dealing with when she got with him. You know, a lot of times we always look at things one-sided, you know, and that can't always be the case. You know, you got to look at things from both sides, you know, and a lot of times, you know, you see things on TV, you know, you see these shows like Maury, and, you know, it's crazy how when a girl comes out, everybody's cheering, yeah, woo, you know, and then when the guy comes out, before you find out any information on the guy who comes on these Maury shows, people are booing the guys before, you know what I'm saying, they find out what's going on with the situation. They're booing the guy. So being a man today, you're going to get the short end of the stick, you know. Everything is the favor of the lady, you know what I'm saying? Everything is the favor of the lady, even good guys. Like, you know, I'm not talking about the guys who don't do what they're supposed to do. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys who actually are good dads out there. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of good dads out there, and they don't get the credit and the recognition that they deserve, you know? And so back to the Maury point. So before, you know, the guy comes out and everybody's booing him in the crowd, it's like, wow, like they don't even know the situation. And then, you know, Maury shows are about who's your child's father. So the results come out, and then all of a sudden you find out that the woman has been cheating because the guy who she thought was the father of her child is not the father of the child. And then, you know, the girl goes in the bag and she rolls on the ground, and she's like falling on the floor, rolling on the ground, you know. And then a lot of times the ladies don't even say I'm sorry, like, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, embarrassing the man, bringing him on the show, knowing darn well that, you know, they've been messing around with other people and stuff like that. You know, nobody says nothing about that, you know what I'm saying? But this situation, you know, with the lady, first off, it was it wasn't classy at all for the way she handled it. You know, like I said, both sides are right. If it was me, I would have bought food for all the kids. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just the way. It depends on how the person is raised too. You know what I'm saying? If the person is raised, you know, like let me give you an example. Like my uncles, you know, they came into relationships to where, you know, they came into relationships with ladies that, you know, they already had kids or a kid, and they took them in, you know, like their own, and never complained once about, you know, buying them clothes for school or, you know, making sure they fed, making sure they had a roof over their head. Not one time. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, me growing up, too, as well, you know, my sister's pops, because we got two different fathers, you know, because my pops dipped out when I was a newborn. So when I was like 2 years old or something like that. So he dipped out. So later on, you know, I was around like 5 or 6 maybe. And my mom's ended up, you know, dating my sister's pops. And, you know, he was like the father figure, you know what I mean? So he took care of me, you know, treated me like his own son, you know, put a roof over my head, you know what I'm saying? Never complained one time, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I probably get it from, you know, but these are kids, man. You know, kids didn't ask to come in this world. I get that, you know, those kids are not his. I get that. That's why I say both sides are actually right, you know. It's just, again, it's depending on the type of person you are dealing with. Sometimes, you know, people don't understand, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand, and they come from a selfish place a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? They come from a selfish place, and you got a child with somebody who's, you know, aggravating you all the time. You know, you don't want to go the extra mile a lot of times because you got somebody who's aggravating you all the time and don't make life easier for you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even if you're not together, you should still try to, and if you have kids involved, you should try your best to leave on good terms. You know what I'm saying? And try not to aggravate each other, man, because it's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that, you know, it's already aggravating. It's already hard to, you know, survive out here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe he didn't have the extra bread to buy, what he said, a total of 4 kids, McDonald's. You know, McDonald's is kind of expensive. You know, when me and my lady go to McDonald's, we get a couple of things from McDonald's. It ended up being like $25, $30 for a few things. So for kids, I'm sure it's probably around that ballpark for four kids. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know how kids are when it comes to McDonald's, and that can cause a friction amongst the kids. You know, they might want to beat her up or beat him up for the McDonald's. You know, kids go crazy for McDonald's, man. McDonald's, like, kids love McDonald's. Like me coming up, I didn't really like McDonald's like that coming up. You know, I was more of a Burger King type kid. Like, I liked the Whopper, and you know, so like I said, it depends on the person. Both sides are right. She's right and he's right. So there's really no wrong in this situation. And again, most people are gonna take her side, you know, because she's the mother, she's the one with the kids all the time, you know what I'm saying? But again, we have to stop putting everything on the internet, man. I don't think it's cool to be putting every single thing that you do in life on the internet, man. Like every moment that every moment, you know, that you have, every second, you're putting it on the internet. And I don't think that's, you know, some things is supposed to be in-house. And I believe that's one of them, you know. I believe that's one of them. Like, again, people today, like the internet today is like it's like a gift and a curse, you know. I love the fact that, you know, you can create content and reach people all over the world, you know, with podcasting and YouTube and TikTok, you know. But that's the gift side of it, you know, being able to reach people, being able to help people around the world. That's the gift side of the internet. The curse of the internet is, you know, using it for evil, you know, trying to embarrass somebody, trying to scam somebody, you know what I'm saying? And just anything negative you want to do and you're trying to do it on the internet. That's the negative side of it. And I think that we put too much of our life on the internet, man. I'm not on a lot of platforms, man. To be honest with you, I'm not. I don't want to be all over the internet like that. I don't want to be, you know, seen. You know, I just want to be in the backfield, you know, chilling in the cut. Like, I don't want all my information on the internet like that. You know, I don't have a Facebook. I don't have an Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but that's for business purposes. I just signed up for fan base, but that's going to be for business purposes. I do have a YouTube, but that's is for business purposes. I don't really use the internet for, you know, personal use really anymore. You know, when Facebook first started out, I was using it for, you know, personal use. You know, it was something that was cool, new. be able to connect with, keep in touch with family members that you haven't talked to in a long time. Facebook and Instagram was the two that I used to have. But now I deleted my Instagram. I don't have a Facebook. Nope. I deleted my Facebook. So, I try to stay out of the internet thing. I think people are coming to the point to where they think the internet is real life. Like, there's no separation anymore from the internet in real life. Like, it is becoming merged together. And now you got this whole, what is it called? AI technology, coming in, and they're taking over jobs, and people are just seem to lose reality. You know what I'm saying? And that whole situation could have been dealt with in-house. I think that would have been the best thing to do, is to keep it in-house. She could have easily pulled him to the side, talked to him, instead of trying to embarrass him on the internet, easily pulled him to the side, say, hey, listen, come here, let me talk to you. Let me explain the reason why I feel like, you shouldn't just bring one meal for just your kid, and talk to him like an adult. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how old they are. I don't know if they're together anymore or separated. I don't know. I'm just going by a short clip, what I seen, and I just felt the need to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, everybody's different, man. Me personally, I would have, the way I feel about kids, and I know how they are about McDonald's, I would have bought them all, if I knew that, if I had the bread, or if I didn't, my bread was short, I would have told my son or my daughter, come in the whip, come eat your food, don't eat in front of people, because that's disrespectful, eating food in front of people and you're not bringing others. That is disrespectful. I grew up in the old days, stuff like that was disrespectful. A lot of things people do today, even when it comes to the internet, like putting people's business on the internet, is very disrespectful. A lot of this stuff wouldn't have been, you couldn't get away with it back in the day. Things that people do today, you could. It's accepted now. You know what I'm saying? It's accepted now, and I think that the way people deal with the internet for entertainment and personal use is ruining a lot of people's lives. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people lost their life or took their life over some internet bullying? I mean, internet people get on the internet can be very cruel, man. It can be very cruel. And, I think that trying to embarrass somebody on the internet, no matter, the situation, I mean, I feel like even if a person deserves, I don't think you should be putting it on the internet, man. Some things is just, to me, I'm from the old school, is you should keep it in-house. You should keep it in-house. And that's a way that's a way that a lot of nationality of people move. Like, you don't see a lot of, East Indians on the internet doing that stuff. You don't see a lot of Caucasians doing that type of thing. You might see a little bit, but for the most part, it's melanated people doing that stuff. Trying to embarrass each other. You know what I'm saying? And I don't respect that, man. I don't respect that. But like I said, both sides are right. I believe both sides are right. It depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the person and their upbringing and how they grew up. It depends on the person. Actually, both sides are right. It just depends on the person. She's right. You don't bring food for just one kid. Again, you know how kids are about McDonald's, and you don't eat in front of people. So, he didn't do it properly. He should have, if he didn't have the bread to buy all them food, he should have told his child to come to the car and eat your food so we can talk for a little bit, and get caught up. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? I can ask you about how you doing at school and all that stuff. Eat your food in the car. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have did. You know what I mean? If I didn't have the bread. But if I had the bread, I would have bought all of them some McDonald's, man. I think that would have been the proper way to handle that. That way, it won't be no friction amongst the kids, because kids will fight over McDonald's. I've seen it. Yeah, it can get real over some Mickey D's, you heard? But yo, that's my take in this podcast episode, guys. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Please share this with everybody. Please share it. I appreciate it. But that's my take. I am your gracious host, Jupiter 9, and I want to say peace and love to everybody. Take care. 1.